Now, for the next presentation, may we have Sir Andres P. Ordillo, who is currently the head of the Rice Terraces Restoration Office of the local government unit of Banawe. He is going to share to us the various initiatives of the Banawe LGU in partnership with various agencies, organizations, and funding entities on the restoration of the Banawe Rice Terraces clusters, particularly the Bangaan and Batad clusters, as well as others. The floor is yours, sir.
Hello. Thank you, Sir Mike Hamilton, our moderator, for today's activity. Before we go to these slides, I would like to extend my pleasant good morning to everyone present here today on this third day of the first Ifugao Rice Terraces Assessment International Summit 2022. Yes, I'm sorry. It is a pleasure to be invited in this event to share some insights which might contribute to the solution of this unending challenge of addressing the current condition of our fast deteriorating and vanishing rice terraces that is evident in the rice terraces municipalities of Banawe, Hongduan, Kiangan, and Mayuyao. I'm going to talk about responses to the changes of the Ifugao landscape, specifically the restoration of the Ifugao rice terraces, but more specific about Banawe, where some restoration efforts were done, some successful and some failed. In page 4 of our program and the comprehensive report of the good gentleman of Kiangan on the Nagakadan rice terraces, the current problems of the IRT were spelled out, well-defined and articulated, and everyone agrees and believes that if the situation will not be addressed, we will be losing one of our greatest assets that is known worldwide. We Ifugaos, especially as Banawians, expect the worst future of our rice terraces, including the loss of our tourism industry, followed by the loss of businesses, and eventually a miserable life of our people. Thank you, IFSU, for continuous search and research collaboration efforts that is headed for the conservation and preservation of our vanishing rice terraces. So I have a brief report to share to you, and please flash the first slide, please. A brief agricultural profile of our rice terraces in Banawe. For the total agricultural land area, it is 3,224 hectares. And out of that is the rice terraces land area, which is 1,607 hectares. And the abandoned rice terraces, 540 hectares, which is around 33% as of 2015, are abandoned. The total yield per hectare based on the 2016 data is 3,452 metric tons. So it's really very low, not so productive. And the total yield per hectare is 3.8 metric tons per hectare. However, this needs to be validated because some were based on approximation, especially on the total land area which are abandoned. Next slide. Cause of abandonment of the rice terraces. As I said a while back, IFSU understood that the cause of abandonment of the rice terraces are enumerated in the page 4 of our program, and also what was reported by our representative from Kiangan of the Nagakadan rice terraces. So the first major cause of the abandonment of the rice terraces is the low income derived from rice farming. That's why Banawians shift to other income generating projects, especially those related to tourism, which has a faster turnover on their investment. Next is the out-migration of rice terraces, the high cost of maintenance of the rice terraces, and this is one thing important to consider, farmers' sad plight of not benefiting from tourism activities while they are the ones maintaining the rice terraces. The non-maintenance of our irrigation system, rice farming cycle is not strictly followed, and performance of farming rituals, that is the traditional practice of our old farmers, and the rice farming cycle. Next slide, please. What were the efforts that were done in response to the changes of rice terraces landscape? As during the incumbency of our now Governor, Mayor Jerry Dalipog, Mayor of Banawi in 2010, was the reactivation of the UHAT or Chawa indigenous practice in 3 barangays cluster in the barangay. First is Pauitan. It's a pilot project with 1.5 hectares where that system, indigenous system, was implemented. Bocos, 2.5 hectares, and Viewpoint, 2.5 hectares. Second response was the creation of Banawi Rice Terraces Restoration Office, in short BRTRO, and Rice Terraces Restoration Initiative United Movement for the Preservation of the Heritage. That is, in short, the TRIUMPH, to act as a governing body to undertake the physical, biological, and cultural restoration. For the physical, that is already the formation of the rice terraces, doing some excavation just to maintain the physical structure of the rice terraces. And the next two that is interesting is the biological. Some species of the rice terraces were already extinct, wala na. So, yung mga species na yan, including snails, the lots, the yuyu, and some other species of fish were no longer present in the rice terraces, which I think was helpful in the rice production in the rice paddies. And thirdly is the cultural restoration. I believe when I was a kid, there are nice practices of the Ifugaos, especially the Ubbu. The Ubbu in Bayanihan were no longer practiced, so kanya-kanya na ang pag-maintain ng rice terraces. So, wala na yun, and that's the reason why our governor when he was mayor, have initiated that these practices should be revived to help in the maintenance of our rice terraces. Next slide, please. And then, aside from the first two actions that were undertaken by LGU Banawi, were the promotion and invitation of private companies to help in the restoration of our rice terraces. Canon Philippines came over when there was a calamity, and Toshiba Philippines, Carmel Ray Foundation, and the Universal Harvesters Incorporated, wherein 25 hectares were restored in barangays Viewpoint, Bocos, and Bangaan. And the latest, which is SN Aboitiz Upper Magat Water Management System, they have allotted a fund in their corporate social responsibility for the rice terraces, that is 1,981,46.65 centavos. And for reforestation, they have allotted 2,437,935.17 centavos. For the Universal Harvesters Fund, it was a total of 9 million, which was implemented in those barangays Viewpoint, Bocos, and Bangaan. And as of now, the rice terraces that were restored, according to some reports of the barangay officials, kahit na na-restore na yung mga rice terraces nila, when they were asked to go back to their terrace because tapos na, it's already, the landscape is already finished, ayaw pa rin nila to continue the restored rice terraces. So, I think this is a point wherein IPSU will also try to discover why itong mga na-restore na rice terraces ayaw pa rin ng mga owners to continue the farming. So I think that's all in all my report. Thank you, and I hope further actions will be undertaken. Thank you.